Father, Son, Holy Spirit, we thank you for the opportunity to lead. We thank you for the opportunities that you provide for us. We thank you for this day. And Lord, we ask for your blessings of knowledge, that we would make the best decisions for this community. We ask for a blessing for all those that are present today, staff and city community. And I ask for a special blessing for a very special boy that is in the audience today, for Jack, who inspires us every single day. Lord, we ask for a blessing over his life, that you would continue to provide enriching opportunities for him, and that you would continue to bless his family with this. And I thank you for everyone that has provided these opportunities for community, for every type of ability. And we ask, Lord, for a blessing for all, for those that are grieving, for those that are mourning, for those that are happy, and we just thank you. We ask this in your name.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to appearances and presentations. And item number 1 is the proclamation recognizing March 21st as World Down Syndrome Day.
Good evening, Council. Wow, check out this sock. I wonder why it's here, right? So, again, good evening, Mayor, Council members, and esteemed members of the community. This month, the City of Commerce is once again proud to celebrate Down Syndrome Awareness Day. This special day is a global movement that highlights the unique abilities and contributions of individuals with Down syndrome, while also advocating inclusion and awareness. On Friday, March 21st, 2025, the world will come together in a simple yet powerful way, Crazy Sock Day, to show solidarity and support for the Down syndrome community. This colorful and fun tradition serves as a reminder to our commitment to raising awareness and promoting inclusivity. As part of that commitment, we encourage all employees, residents, and City Council members to participate by wearing their most vibrant and mismatched socks in recognition of this important day. You all have socks on the dais, and actually socks in front of you here to choose from at the end of your meeting. In addition to raising awareness, we are excited to continue expanding inclusive programming within the Parks and Recreation Department. As you are aware, we recently launched our partnership with the Special Olympics, and we are thrilled to share that our Special Olympics swim program is officially underway. But that's not all. Coming soon, we will be introducing Special Olympics bowling. This will provide yet another opportunity for our individuals with diverse abilities to develop new skills, build confidence, and engage in a fun and supportive environment. Commerce has long been a city that values inclusivity. And through events like Down Syndrome Awareness Day and programs like Special Olympics, we continue to demonstrate our dedication to ensuring that every member of our community has access to meaningful opportunities. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to seeing you all in your crazy socks and posting on our Facebook pages on Friday, March 21st, 2025. At this time, I would like to introduce to you Susana Cisneros, the mother of Jag Cisneros, to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Susana Cisneros. I'm the proud mother of Jose Angel Cisneros, aka Jag, here in the audience today, and my husband, Big Jose, as Jag calls him. We're here for our 7th annual proclamation of World Down Syndrome Day, established in 2018 by then Mayor Ivan Altamirano. And today, he's here, our 7th year. I want to thank everyone for being here, and I just have a few words to say. Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. I stand before you filled with gratitude and excitement as we celebrate the arrival of Special Olympics to the City of Commerce. On behalf of our athletes and their families, thank you for making this dream a reality. The Special Olympics is more than just a sports program. It's a movement of inclusion. And I believe that everybody, every person, regardless of their ability, has limitless potential. Because of your leadership and your commitment, the City of Commerce is now part of this inspiring legacy. You have helped create opportunities that will not only enrich the lives of our athletes, but will also strengthen the bond within our community. On behalf of everyone who will benefit from this program, I want to thank you. Thank you for believing in inclusion. Thank you for choosing to be champions for change. And thank you for giving our athletes a place where they can shine. Thank you for providing a space for them, not to be watched, but to be seen. Thank you so much for your incredible work that you bring to our community, providing awareness, access, and opportunity for every individual to feel that they not only are welcome, but that they belong, that they are part of this community. And together, we can keep striving to helping our community feel that this is where they belong, where they are loved, and where they are seen. Thank you so much, and I appreciate all your continued support, and I hope that you will continue to support our most vulnerable and our most needed, our individuals with disabilities. Thank you.
I believe a proclamation in front of you you'd like to read, Mayor?
Yes.
And then at the conclusion, we'll have council come down and we'll take a few photos with Jag and the family.
Thank you. Thank you. A proclamation of the City of Commerce designating March 21st, 2025 as World Down Syndrome Day in the City of Commerce. Whereas the City of Commerce recognizes and honors the contributions of individuals with Down syndrome who enrich our community through their talents, resilience, and spirit. And whereas Down Syndrome Day is observed annually on March 21st to raise public awareness, promote inclusion, and advocate for the rights, well-being, and self-determination of individuals with Down syndrome. And whereas the theme of World Down Syndrome Day 2025, Improve Our Support Systems, emphasizes the need to strengthen policies, services, and resources that empower individuals with Down syndrome to live full, inclusive lives with dignity and independence. And whereas individuals with Down syndrome deserve equitable access to education, employment, healthcare, and community resources that enable them to thrive and contribute meaningfully to society. And whereas the City of Commerce is committed to fostering an inclusive and supportive community by advocating for programs, initiatives, and partnerships that ensure individuals with Down syndrome and their families receive resources and support that they need. And whereas we encourage residents, businesses, and organizations to join us in recognizing the importance of inclusion and to work together to break down barriers, challenge stereotypes, and promote understanding and acceptance. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Commerce does hereby proclaim March 21st, 2025 as World Down Syndrome Day in the City of Commerce and encourages all residents to wear blue and yellow and participate in awareness activities and join the global effort to celebrate and empower individuals with Down syndrome. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the official seal of the City of Commerce to be affixed this 11th day of March 2025, passed and adopted this 11th day of March 2025, signed by the Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and City Council. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We'll go ahead and start public comment. We have John Lasarian. Lasarian, my apologies.
Good evening, esteemed colleagues and friends. My name is John Lucerarian, and I have the honor of serving as the Executive Director of the Montebello Commerce YMCA. This introduction is long overdue. Having been the beneficiary of RY's impact during my childhood, from the young age of 12, I discovered my calling to pursue a career in the YMCA. In reflecting on how our YMCA had played such a pivotal role throughout my life, I realized it had less to do with the building and the pool, but more so with the people that I was surrounded by, who provided me a safe and welcoming environment where I felt included and part of our Y family. When I returned to the Montebello Commerce YMCA after 20 years of advancing my career at other YMCAs, I decided to embark on a listening tour to learn what our communities are struggling with. I met with local electeds such as Hugo and Jessa, school district officials, city administrators, the faith community, key volunteers, and the list goes on. The learnings were vast, and it was clear that our communities are concerned for our teens, our young families, and seniors. We took a deeper dive by assembling focus groups and to better understand the needs. And what came as a surprise was the shared feelings around loneliness, isolation, and lack of connectedness among each of these groups. Today, I wanted to talk to you about 3 different opportunities, just to put it on your radar. The first is the Model United Nations program. On this evening's agenda, you will be invited to consider allocating some funds to support 10 City of Commerce middle schoolers' participation in the YMCA's Model United Nations program. For background, the California YMCA Youth in Government program has been offering this program to middle school students throughout the state of California since 2001. These students will have the chance to interact with peers from all over the state of California, diving deep into global issues while developing valuable life skills such as public speaking, negotiation, leadership, and diplomacy. Throughout the 3-month program, the teen ambassadors will engage in a series of dynamic training sessions, workshops, and activities that prepare them to represent assigned countries at the Model United Nations Summit. During this culminating event, which takes place in Southern California, delegates assume the roles of ambassadors, collaborating to find solutions to critical international challenges, just like real diplomats would. Your investment will cover the cost of housing, transportation, food, and needed supplies for our City of Commerce teams. The next is our Safety Around Water program. April 1st through 3rd, our YMCA will be hosting Safety Around Water Week. This free program for all youth is designed to
John,
reduce...
I don't mean to interrupt, but you're like on your 3rd minute, and each speaker has 3 minutes to speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was waiting for it to go red. Oh, I didn't see that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next speaker, Jasmine Gonzalez. Each speaker has 3 minutes to speak in public comment.
Hi, good evening, council and staff. My name is Jasmine Gonzalez. I am a constituent of the City of Commerce, and I also work in the City of Commerce. We are currently supporting Commerce residents who want to engage with their representatives and work towards a stable community through policy change. But for this to happen, Commerce electeds have to engage with community and respond to their emails. We appreciate that some of the council we met with at the end of 2024, but since then have stopped responding, and one council member has not met up with us at all. In September of 2023, the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs, DCBA, produced a tenant protection policy toolkit. This toolkit is meant to assist the development of policies and actions to offer protections to our most vulnerable citizens. It is time to translate those recommendations into tangible policy for Commerce community. So I'm respectfully urging the City Manager Ernie Hernandez and Councilmember Mireya Garcia to please meet and engage with the community as we have been trying to engage with you to pass urgent protections that offer more community stability than what is currently in place in the City of Commerce. And I have here a copy of the toolkit put out by DCBA to submit for the public record. Thank you.
Thank you. Irma Vargas.
Buenas tardes, representantes. Mi nombre es Irma Vargas. La razón por la cual estoy aquí es, yo pertenezco al grupo EGR Caracol. Estamos aquí junto con mi compañera que acaba de pasar, Jasmine, para pedirles a ustedes que por favor respondan a nuestros correos que les hemos mandado. Y no solo nosotros, sino mucha comunidad de commerce ha mandado a ustedes y hasta ahorita no hemos tenido ninguna respuesta. Por favor, les suplicamos con cordial, con humildad, que por favor puedan ustedes responder a nuestra petición. Queremos nosotros que agenden una reunión con nosotros para poder platicar sobre asuntos que pues necesita nuestra comunidad. Esto sería todo y esperamos recibir respuesta pronta, por favor, y si es posible, pues si es hoy, que nos pudieran dar esa fecha, mucho mejor. Muchas gracias, les agradecemos. Buenas tardes.
Patricia Dueñas or Dueñas. Dueñas.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Patricia Dueñas. En primero quiero darles las gracias por los subtítulos en español. Muchas gracias. Voy a hablar personalmente en cómo es que me ha ido en estos 23 años viviendo aquí en Commerce. Ahorita la situación está un poquito más pesada que anteriormente. El problema es de que el dueño nos sube la renta y cada año nos estamos subiendo la renta. A mí me subía cada año $100, pero como yo tengo migraña, entonces él un poquito hizo que quitaran todos los aires acondicionados porque dice que no está permitido por el departamento de fire. Entonces yo fui a averiguar y me dijeron que no había ninguna ley que indica todo eso, pero como yo no le hice caso, me subió la renta $80 más. Entonces yo ahorita estoy pagando más de los que están entrando ahorita. Entonces yo sí estoy con ellas y estoy también vamos buscando también para un control de renta, porque sí es un poquito pesado. Y no nomás yo vivo problema, hay varias ley de los apartamentos que tienen problemas con los managers que están cuidando los apartamentos y que están hostigando y que suben las rentas y que quitan, cuando no hacen caso, quitan parking, que es lo que está haciendo el gobierno. Y si usted no está de acuerdo con él, va a ir a quitar el parking o algo no le parece, no quita el parking y lo renta a otra persona. Entonces también todo eso es muy injusto. Entonces también nos gustaría que por favor nos escucharan. El año pasado avanzamos un poquito, pero como fueron las fiestas y todo eso, se atrasó todo otra vez. Porque creo que ya se habían reunido con ustedes. Entonces sí nos gustaría que nos escucharan. No necesitamos de verdad. Somos familias, tenemos niños y las cosas están demasiado caras que no podemos. Por favor. Gracias.
Gracias. Sandra Gonzalez.
Hi, good evening, council members and staff. My name is Sandra, and unfortunately, I'm a former resident of Commerce. My family moved here in 1995. in 1998, I started a small business in the City of Commerce. In 2000, I became a homeowner here. And through unfortunate circumstances, illness in the family and medical bills, I lost that home. And then I rented. I rented for 5 years with no increase. The place where I was at, the manager was very understanding. The places were tiny and not well kept. And I think that's the reason he kept the rent stable. However, the place was bought out. And in about a year and a half, my rent was doubled. We ended up homeless. We ended up homeless for more than 2 years. So this is what's going to happen to so many residents that have voted for you guys, residents that have been here for 20 plus years, if you guys don't start to act. This community is being priced out. And you can stop that if you start engaging with community members that are willing to help solve this problem. This is not going to go away. This is just going to get worse. I'm not the only person from just that one apartment building. Before I left in that year and a half, there must have been about 5 other people who just couldn't do it anymore and left. Where are we supposed to go? Where's this community supposed to go? Where's the community that voted all of you in supposed to go? And is the new community that comes in, are they going to be interested in keeping you around? Talk to the residents here. Help them. They need your protection. I would love to come back to the city, but I know that's not happening anymore. This is in your hands. The lives of so many residents in Commerce are in your hands, and they voted to put their lives in your hands. And are you protecting them? Are you? How long have you been a council member, Mr. Argumedo? Because I remember you when we were neighbors 20 plus years ago. But you guys don't seem to be interested in keeping this community here. At least you're not showing it. It's time that you show your commitment to keeping this community stable. You answer these emails that have been sent to you and engage and help solve this problem before it becomes an epidemic in Commerce, where this community is just completely changed. It is up to you.
Thank you, Sandra. At this time, we're going to be moving on to consent calendar and with the recommendation.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
If you give me a minute.
Yes.
Just to address the rent control question, I wanted to remind the council and members that are joining us from the public that the city council adopted the state's rent control ordinance as part of its own municipal code. And what that did was it empowered the city to treat rent control violations as a violation of our municipal code enforcement issue. And in other communities that haven't done that, the rent control protections that are adopted by the state statute, the renters, the tenants would have to go and enforce their rights in court, right? And that's, for some people and most people, that's very intimidating and just not a convenient way to enforce your rights. So we have sent letters to other landlords in the past when tenants have come to City Hall and let us know that the rents that have been adopted by the landowners or the landlords exceeds the limits that the state and that our code allows. And so the city manager just asked me to let the members of the public that are here today and anyone else listening that the city manager and I would love to sit down and talk to anyone interested in this and let them know how our process works and how we can treat their matters as code enforcement matters. So I just wanted to share that with members of the public and the city council.
I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you. At this time, we'll move on to consent calendar, and with the recommendation of my colleagues here, they want to pull item number 4. So what I'm going to do is allow John to come back and finish your comments. I didn't know your item. Well, I may put 2 and 2 together when you were speaking. So I should have invited you to speak during your item. So because your item's on the agenda, I'll allow you to finish your comment.
Sorry for being long-winded, and I'll try to finish up quickly. Where I left off was our Safety Around Water program. On April 3rd, our YMCA will be hosting our Safety Around Water Week. This is a free program for all youth in our community and is designed to reduce the risk of drowning and build skills and confidence in and around water. Our youth will learn skill sets that can be used if they unexpectedly find themselves in or around water. Safety topics like what to do if you see someone in the water who needs help, and fun activities that reinforce skills and self-confidence. The registration is now open and again free for all youth in our community. Lastly, I wanted to provide a preview of an event that we're going to be hosting here in the City of Commerce with our longtime friends at the Commerce Casino. Our inaugural Touch a Truck Family STEM event on Saturday, May 24th. The objective of this event is to ignite a spark among youth to pursue career paths in STEM-related fields while giving them an opportunity to climb up and learn about the work trucks that we are all enamored by. Personally, I have witnessed this in our two boys, now 4 and 6 years old. Every time the trash truck or street sweeper rolls past our house, when they see the excavator, dump trucks, and cement mixers working on community developments, often kids see these trucks but don't have the opportunity to meet the operators or the engineers that make all the magic happen. And this event will give them that opportunity. In closing, I look forward to our continued partnership with our friends at the City of Commerce by together serving as a hub where our community well-being occurs. Thank you.
Thank you. So this time at consent calendar, we have items 2 through 4. Is there a motion for approval?
I would move to approve, Mayor.
There's a motion and a second. Any opposition? Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. We'll move on to scheduled matters. This is a presentation. Item number 5 is a presentation and an update from the Sheriff Department.
Good evening, City Council, Mayor. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Sergeant Sergio Jimenez with your public safety briefing for the month of February. Next slide. Okay, the first slide is going to be Part 1 crimes, again from February 1st to the 28th. For the month of February, I have 5 assaults. Compared to January, we have 8. For robberies, we have a total of 4. Compared to January, we have 4. February, again, we have 3 burglary totals. Compared to January, we had 9. Some improvements there. Theft total, we had 66 for the month of February. Compared to January, we had 80. So a great improvement. Auto theft, we had 30 for February. For January, we have 34. And just to give you a little perspective of where we're at as far as this month compared to last year. For this current month, again, we had 5 assaults compared to last year, February, we had 10. Robbery, again, we had 4 this month. Last year, in February, we had 6. Burglary, we had 3 this month. Last year, in February, we had 23. Good improvement. Theft, we had 66 again in this month, in February. Last February, we had 57. There's a little slight increase. Auto theft, we had 30 in February. Last February 2024, we had 40. Next slide. And this slide is going to put in comparison to other cities. The most comparable is going to be obviously East LA, the unincorporated area. And as you can see, we have 5 assaults compared to their 49. We have 4 robberies for the month of February compared to East LA's 15. 66 other theft compared to East LA's 84. We have 30 auto thefts compared to East LA, which is 68. Again, taking consideration square miles compared to East LA, and also the neighboring city, which is Cudahy. Next slide. And I know Councilor Lainez, I know we spoke last at our meeting, and you mentioned the cameras. I did a search of anything in the area of the cameras, and I'll be happy to tell you that we have no incidents. which means that it's a success. I will meet with public safety along with the assistant city manager, where we can deploy them in the future for any areas in the city that need some protection. Okay, next slide. This is going to be your commerce arrest, 22 felony arrests, and 32 misdemeanors for the month of February. And some commerce activities, which include activities with your SAO deputies. February 26, deputies assist the City of Commerce homeless team, Ed Salcedo and Rafa Barrow, along with Ocean Blue Team cleanup. Several sites cleaned and resources extended to any individuals encountered in these areas. Next slide, please. This is going to be on Eastern. Next slide. This is going to be on Goodrich, just south of Whittier. And the next slide is going to be the railroad tracks near Bell Gardens. Okay, next activity, March 3rd, 2025, deputies attended Bethany School for the book delivery for the Vernon Rotary Club. Next slide. There you go. Next slide. That's going to be of us dropping off books. And then March 6th, 2025, deputies attended Bethany School for the Read Across America. Next slide. Next slide. And lastly, your SAO deputies are continuing with their saturation patrols of the Commerce Center, Bristol Park, and Benton Mears. And I'm happy to report that these operations have resulted in some notable arrests, which I'll be more than happy to give you details once council meetings that concluded my briefing.
Thank you, Sarge. Any questions or comments? There's a Mayor Pro Tem.
Just Sergeant, thank you for the presentation, and also thank you for following up and looking into, the incidents around the camera trailers, right? So, obviously something that we should continue to monitor, right? But thank you for following back up with that.
You're welcome, sir.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, no, just wanted to thank you, Sergeant, for the your presentation and the performance improvements that I see there in various areas there. Like to maybe discuss that a little bit more. What you attribute some of these improvements? Just curious as to obviously there's some things that are being done right here, and you're seeing it across the board. So I'd like to know more about that. So, thank you.
Thank you, Sarge.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you. You want to say something? We got one more comment.
Just to really quick,
Sarge?
Sergeant,
Sarge, we have one more comment.
don't run away too quickly. I want to set up a meeting with you so we can discuss some issues that I have been brought to my attention.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll talk after the meeting a little bit.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarge.
Okay, you're welcome.
Appreciate you. All right. So at this time, we'll move on to item number 6, which is the funding request for new modular office and removal of existing modulars at Veterans Park.
Good evening, City Council. Greg Alanis, Director of Parks and Recreation. Before you is a funding request, agenda report, requesting allocating $50,000 to secure a new modular at Veterans Park and the removal of the 2 existing modulars that are no longer working at this time. As you're aware that those modulars were shut down in September as we were moving forward with the Modelo project. However, at this time, we could just back up a little bit. We are offering programming at Veterans Park. The programming is SWIFT. We continue with our Tiny Tea program there, our preschool program, our Tiny Time program, and our park program. In addition to that, we do have our HIT Center there that is still fully functional, as well as our recreation basketball teams are actually there at this time. Also, let's not forget, we do have our Crush Volleyball program there Monday through Friday from approximately 5 o'clock to about 8:30, 9 o'clock on a daily basis throughout the season. So again, the request is for $50,000 to remove the 2 older modulars and bring in 1 new modular that will be secured and put just in front of the gym itself. At this time, I'd like to entertain any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Is there any questions? I'll start on my left. Councilwoman Gregorio.
Thank you, Greg, for the presentation. And most and foremost, I want to thank all the staff at Veterans Park, because I know that they've been doing the best with what they have. And really just to apologize to that community, because while this is great news, it's about 2 to 3 years late. Like, we talked about this, and I know it's not your fault, so I don't need to come off strong with you, but I'm really disappointed that it's been about 3 years and we're barely purchasing this modular. When we talked about this, I mean, I think every year we've been pushing, like, what's going to happen? What are we going to do with the building? Why aren't we moving the modular somewhere else? And while I'm really happy that it's finally here, and I'm glad that this is going to happen, right? This is a tremendous disservice to that community, and I don't understand why it took us this long. I know we've mentioned it. I know I've mentioned it almost every year, and I know you're sick and tired of me asking, what are we doing, right? But because I remember, I don't know, we came before that community about 5-6 years ago, right? Presenting this idea of this wonderful project coming to this community. And that day, I remember we were at the park and we told that community, we told them we were committed to keeping everything the same, the services, the programs. And while maybe the programs are still the same, right? It's still not 100% the same. And we told them that we would do it. And we've done a disservice to them because we asked for this modular 2-3 years ago. And we're barely bringing it today. And it's just really disappointing because they've got the short end of the stick. A lot of those kids for a long time didn't have anywhere to even play basketball. The half of that modular that was there burned down. And then what? And then they had only the other half. And it's barely coming before us. And I remember that we pushed this a really long time ago. And I'm disappointed that whatever direction was given before, it wasn't taken into consideration. Because had it been taken into consideration, we wouldn't be here yet anymore, right? That modular would have been there and I wouldn't be this upset, right? And I guess I'm more disappointed, right? Because it's a disservice to that community. And we're gonna put this modular there, and then what's gonna happen when we start working on that side of the park? Like, where is it gonna go? I've talked about, like, let's just make sure to put it somewhere where it's going to be for the remainder of this project. And it's almost like goes in one ear, out the other, So while I'm absolutely grateful and in support of this money, right? I want to make sure that we have a set plan of where we're going to put it, when is it going to be moved, what are we going to do? Because we can't continue to play limbo and stay in limbo and keep that community in limbo, because they've been asking. You don't get the phone calls. You don't get the phone calls. We get the phone calls of what's happening. Why isn't this building opening? Why is my child having preschool in the atrium and not in a at least in a trailer? So I do thank you, but I'm really disappointed that it's taken this long. And I don't mean, I know that you're the person presenting, so I don't mean
quite
to.
All right.
I don't mean to come off, but I'm just, we were committed to this community, and I feel like we've taken just way too long to give them something that they deserve. So I would like to know how long it's going to be there. What's our plan? Is it going to be easy for us to move that to a new place once the project starts happening on that end of the property? So that's the only question that I have.
Well, to answer your question in regards to where it will go once the park shuts down, there's two potential locations that we've been discussing. One is, and I'll just call it the Zindel property, which is across your Engage, that empty lot that is a potential spot, and also the Veterans Park library, where we can do programming inside, and actually, we believe we can actually remove the modular that is placed at Veterans to fit into the parking lot at Veterans Library. However, that would be have to be determined by the company that moves the modular. We went and did some measurements, and it will fit there. I'm just not sure how they would get it into that particular area. The discussions have already begun in regards to those two specific locations.
So I remember we discussed those properties again. So that discussion should have already been should have already had a solution, right? I was told about maybe 2 years ago, a year ago, we're gonna do some testing, yada yada yada. This was about maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. So there should already be some answers, like some permanent, like this is what we're gonna do. We've already tried this, because I know that we've had these conversations, you know, and I know that there's been some transitions within our administration, but that shouldn't affect the direction that the council has given. And I think all of us have been very committed to, we have to make sure this community doesn't feel like we're not doing something, you know? So my question is this: you said, this is the first I hear about the library area. So then are we saying we would have the library and the park building in the same lot? Because it's very small there.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the issue with the others in that property that's bigger?
You know, I would probably have to defer that to Public Works. I mean, being that is a Public Works project, I've been involved in some discussions in terms of my vision to be sure it is a, well, let's just call it a pocket park, a passive park. So that's my discussion at this point of what I would envision. It looks like parking, grass, trees, playground, modular. But I would have to work with Public Works because they have all the ins and outs in terms of electric and all those types of intricacies that I'm not quite familiar with. But I have given my insight as to what I would like to see there. And it does include modular parking, grass, trees, picnic, playground, to ensure that that community is served.
Okay, so what I would like to see in the next, 3 weeks is just a timeline. I would like to sit down with you and the city manager, and I want to know exactly what the timeline's going to look like, what we're planning to do, what the issues are, why we haven't just automatically said, let's do it if there's issues with the property. I want us to have a plan, and I want it to be executed and not continue to just have conversations. But I do thank you for bringing this before us, and let's just move as quick as possible, please. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilwoman Garcia.
Hi, Greg. Thanks for bringing the modular out now, where it's coming out. I just want to make sure we're clear that we're going to continue to provide the same opportunities and programs as all the rest of the parks.
That is correct.
That is correct. And what's going to happen with the lunch program?
The lunch program right now, we're talking about potentially doing it out of the library at Veterans Park. Only because we don't have hot running water at this time. However, should we get the modular in and have hot running water, which is mandated by the health department, then we'll be able to offer the program on Veterans Park.
Yes,
we do have a backup plan, which is the library at this time.
Okay, good, because we do have a lot of students or kids that go out there for the lunch program. I know my daughter was one of them. My parents used to take my kid to all the programs, so we want to make sure everyone has the same opportunities.
And that's taken care of already.
Right. Thank you. Great.
Councilor Argumento.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you to my colleagues for expressing their frustrations with regards to this item. But I do want to thank our city manager for moving quickly. I think the frustrations have been heard by him from probably different members of the city council. And appreciate you moving quickly to get the modular station one, replacing the old one and putting a new one in. But obviously, we don't feel that's sufficient. We know that the community there has been basically, they've been, I think we've been neglected for too long over in that area. And, we're in this project trying to work with the contract to try to move him along as quickly as we can. And there seems to be some problems with that. And I believe that's where the biggest problem is right now. But we're trying to move as quickly as we can. I know that they've begun the remediation of some of the dirt there now, and we're going to be getting a report. I understand we should have a report by the end of the week in regards to how much money has been spent remediating some of the grant money that we received from the state. And in addition, I want to know the percentage of remediation that has been completed on the city property. But believe me, I know that each of the members of the city council have expressed a great deal of urgency with regards to this matter, and we want to make sure we bring a community center to the Veterans Park area as soon as possible. And we're looking to do it whether it's in its current on the current track that it's on, or if it means going in a different direction and doing it ourselves, then we need to be sure that that's on the table as well, so that we can try to expedite in getting it done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greg, thank you for the presentation. I want to echo my colleagues' sentiments here. Obviously, it's something that we all feel is very important. We feel like the Veterans Park community has been neglected, right? And a lot of the community members there do feel like, we're letting that park die on the vine. And listen, there's reasons why, we're not continuing to invest a lot of money into that park. And it's because, like the councilman here said, there's a looming project, right? But, we're kind of playing the cards that we're dealt. So I just want to make sure that staff is really focusing on Veterans Park. And if there are gaps, right, that are causing us to not provide an adequate level of service, because we haven't been providing an adequate level of service there. If there are gaps where we're not able to provide an adequate level of service, lean into that and let us know, right? We'd rather you tell us and come to us, right, and make us aware of what you recommend there than to have the community members, frustrated, because by the time they're coming to talk to us, they're frustrated, right? So we really need you to be our eyes and ears out there and just keep us apprised, please. So.
No problem. Just to interject for a moment here, if you don't mind, I do have some numbers in terms of registration and programming that's going on across the board at all our parks. And Veterans Park actually has quite a few participants versus our other three parks. Tiny Twos, for instance, has 20. Bandini only has 18, not only, but has 18. Preschool, 10. Bandini, 10. Bristol, 12. Tiny Times, 15 at Veterans. 15 at Bandini and 8 at Bristol. And park program really exceeds all other parks, where we have an average of 25 participants, whereas the other parks have 8, 15, and 10. So in terms of programming your gaps, I believe we're meeting the need. However, if there is an urge to do additional programming that the community desires, I'd like to hear about it. But in terms of the programs that we offer, we are hitting our numbers and far beyond the numbers that we expected, considering that the park is kind of closed. In addition to that, we continue to offer HIT program there. Our other parks do not offer HIT, and we also offer our recreation basketball program there as well. Obviously, football and baseball we can't do because the fields are closed at this time, but we are offering our basketball at this time.
And I appreciate those numbers. And yes, the Veterans Park community is huge, right? So I think the fact that there are a significant amount of people registering to participate in this programming, just highlights the need even more. And I think my comments are less related to programming, but just making sure that we have adequate temporary facilities, right? You just said, like, the main community center doesn't have hot running water. That's a problem, right? So we need to be able, for hygiene reasons, right, for health reasons, we need to provide some type of like hot water alternative. So that's where I'm coming from, right? Just making sure that our structures and our facilities are adequate for servicing that community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it. So at this time, staff is recommending for approval. Is there a motion to move forward on this?
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. We'll now move on to item number 7, the disabled blue curb parking request, which
Honorable Mayor and Member City Council, staff would like request City Council continue this item to a future meeting.
Okay, we're going to continue it. Thank you. Then I'll move on to our city council reports, and I'll start to my left. Councilwoman Yvonne. Yes. Are you ready? Or, are you ready? Or
yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right, Councilmember Argumento.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate the opportunity there. So I'll start with, I guess, a recent meeting that we had on this Monday on March the 10th. We met with our disposal service representatives, and it's in relationship to a mandate from the state, SB Senate Bill 1383. Just had some discussion on that. They are indicating to us basically that we're getting on the radar of the state with regards to that, and we need to make sure that at some point that we address it. And it was a very productive meeting, I thought. We had a meeting with mayor and the city manager and representatives from the Athens, and I thought it was a productive meeting. Hopefully in the future we'll be able to address that so that we don't start getting on their list of individuals that may be fined or anything. So that was it was good. It was a good meeting. Thank you, Mayor, for making the time to sit down and have some very productive discussion. I think in the future we'll be bringing something before the city council, and hopefully it'll resolve all that and put that behind us. I also had the opportunity to attend in February the 28th on Friday, the Aquatics Awards banquet. I want to thank all of our staff for the great work they continue to do. It was very well attended by all of the members, and they usually are just do an outstanding job in all of our aquatics programs. So we want to thank everybody that was there and all of the recognitions that they provided, and thank you for allowing us as the city council to be a part of that. Really enjoyed it, and want to congratulate all of our youth in the different programs. On Wednesday, the February the 12th, I also had an opportunity to attend the JPA board meeting, which is the California Cities for Self-Reliance. And of course, it was a good meeting. One of the things that we're focusing on is trying to grow the membership in terms of the number of cities that we have representing us. We've had some successes with regards to SB 549, which is that bill that we all, didn't want to move forward. And as it passed, but it barely passed. And right now we're looking at, we're going to probably end up in court for probably maybe a couple of years related to that bill that has passed and some of the changes they want to propose to implement that could have a negative impact on our city and other cities throughout the state, those that have car clubs in their cities. So we're looking forward to hopefully, getting some good results related to that. But in addition, what's important for us right now, I think, is growing our membership so that when we go up to lobby on behalf of our cities, we have a lot more cities that are part of this organization. And I'm happy to sit on one of those as one of the committee members. There's two of us that are putting together, we're trying to put some bylaws together that are allow for other cities to join us as part of members. And that's really important because we just had one of our cities that just dropped out of the JPA. And so we'll be having a discussion on that tomorrow. Actually, we'll have another meeting. We'll be getting more information related to that. And same day, I had the opportunity to attend the sanitation district. Our mayor is generally the representative on that body, but by default, and he was unavailable due to some, I believe, a scheduling conflict. And he asked me to attend on his behalf, and I did. And I just want to let you know that, as usual, good meeting, nothing out of the ordinary. Everything was good, and that was it. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry. Councilwoman Rebollo?
Thank you. I would like to start off by just honoring, I know International Women's Day just passed, but we are in the month of celebrating women. We should celebrate ourselves every day, though, not just a month. But I just want to start off by honoring all the women of this community that came before me, all the women that, kind of forged this path for us to be able to sit here and lead our community. I would like to thank the women of our community that are part of our staff, that are part of this community, that are teachers and police officers, and every single woman that contributes to the betterment of this community and the communities around us. So I want to start off by just honoring all women. I want to thank the library for the panel of Chicana authors that you had on Saturday. I was able to stumble in for a couple of minutes, and it was nice to see a few people here enjoying, the stories and just the not just the wonderful jazz performance out there, but just listening to these authors and the poems. And I didn't unfortunately get to hear the whole thing, but for the few minutes that I was able to come in, it was really nice. So thank you to the library for doing that, and to the casino for providing the box lunch for the people that attended. That same day, I was invited by Mr. Optimist of Commerce, which I didn't even know existed. So I'm just really excited and happy that they reached out, because we are going to make sure that there are more women of the City of Commerce that know about the Seroptimists, so that we can all get involved. I was able to honor some women that day through it's called the Live Your Dream Awards. And it was awards to 3 incredible women who have lived their dream. Some immigrated to this country, didn't realize that they were going to be able to one day go to school. And as moms, they're back at school, graduating, getting degrees, breaking the barrier of not knowing the language. And we're talking immigrants from Mexico. There was an immigrant from India. It was just really empowering and beautiful to hear the stories of all these mothers who didn't think they were worth it, who didn't think that they could. And through the mentorship of the Seroptimists, they realized that they could, and they did. So I'm really excited to continue to build that relationship with them. So thank you to the Seroptimists of Commerce and to the library for allowing them the space to be able to do what they did. So thank you for that. Congratulations to Jim Crawford. I was able to attend the swearing in. He is the president again this year of the Industrial Council. So congratulations to Jim. And just to remind my colleagues that on the 19th, the Commerce Casino will be hosting our Contract Cities board meeting. So hope everybody can attend. With that, happy birthday to Frances Chica. What did they call her? Sorry, that's she has a nickname. This is Sandy Enriquez's mom. Frances Chica Diaz, who on the 13th will be celebrating 95 years on this earth. So happy birthday to her. She is the mother of previous employee, Sandy Enriquez, our retired employee, and the grandmother of 2 of our employees, Marcus Enriquez and Sean Diaz. But everybody knows Sandy and Franny, and everybody, the brothers also, the Diaz brothers that grew up here in the City of Commerce. So she is going to be 95. So let's make sure to wish her a happy birthday and say, keep her in your prayers as she's blessed with 95 years of life. With that, since you're in the audience, I just would really, really, really like to thank you. I can't even say your last name. I'm so sorry. Remind me how to pronounce it again? Lucerian. Yes? Okay, Mr. Lucerian. I know I mentioned this before, but since you're in the audience today, I want to make sure that I thank you personally. Mr. Lucerian was a pivotal part of helping the elderly couple that is now living in the city of Commerce, who lost their home in the fires. And he was the person that reached out to Home Depot and was able to get some supplies so that they can that he could continue to work. He is a gardener, and through the midst of losing their home, he wanted to make sure that he went out to work, and you were able to make sure that he had the tools for that. So I really wanted to thank you for that, and I know the family is truly grateful. But you didn't stop there. You're making sure that they have food on the table, that they have services, that anything that the City of Commerce can't get, that you're doing through the YMCA. So I just really, really wanted to personally thank you on behalf of the family. So thank you again. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Garcia?
Thank you, Mayor. I attended the Arts District Committee meeting today with the mayor, and we are extremely excited to bring a lot of new ideas coming in with art for our crosswalks, our buildings, and I know the mayor's probably going to get into it a little more deeper because he's an art person. I have a sociology background, so it's a little difficult, but I know what looks nice, and so I'm super excited about that. Also, I want to also say Happy Women's History Month. I want to mention to all the women, you are phenomenal mothers, an incredible wife, a resilient individual, and a remarkable daughter. And it serves as a reminder of the ongoing fight for gender equality and importance of continuing to uplift and the empower of women worldwide. That concludes me. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you, Mayor. First off, I do want to thank Mr. John Lucerian for being here today. I'm really excited about the partnership for the Model Nations program. I think it's going to be tremendous for our youth here in the city. You know, whenever there's an opportunity to do some type of skill development, some leadership training, I think we have to, seize that opportunity. So thank you for working with our city, to develop this partnership. And I'm really excited for our youth. So thank you for being here and also, making us aware of some of the other things that are going on. I'm looking forward to Touch a Truck. If maybe it's just for the children, but if adults can step in, I'd be game, so just a little heads up there. Like most of my colleagues, I also attended the aquatics banquet on February 28th. I do want to thank Rachel for emceeing the event. Also, just our swim and water polo coaches and all the staff that were there, as well as the athletes, right? There's a lot of dedication and commitment that goes into, aquatics, whether it's swim, water polo, and just a lot of time and dedication to any extracurriculars. So really just applaud their efforts and really proud to, that they're out there representing our cities on various different stages throughout the state and throughout the nation. On March 3rd, I participated in Read Across America at Veterans Park. And so I want to thank Sylvia and Connie, our children's librarian, as well as the staff at Veterans Park for kind of Veterans Library, I should say, to their work to kind of host the event and just be very welcoming. It was great. Some of the recommendations for the books I got were good because they were a hit. They made the kids laugh. So that's all I could ask for. So it was a great job by the library team. And, it was an honor to participate there. On March 6th, as Councilwoman Rebollo mentioned, I attended the Commerce Business Council Board of Directors installation for 2025. And so I do want to congratulate Jim Crawford, who I think at this point is a 3-time Business Council president. He's like, I told him, he's like the Ric Flair of business chambers, right? With all the seats that he holds. But, just kudos to him and the great work that he's doing with the chamber, as well as a big thank you to Robert Taylor and Pat Monroy for all of their work to coordinate the event. But I also want to give a big shout out to this year's George Tamanzian Philanthropic Award winner, retired mayor and modern day legend, Joe Aguilar. As you know, Joe served on the council, was a city employee. I believe he began his journey with the City of Commerce in 1964. So he's been in the arena of public service for over 60 years. And so I think the award couldn't have gone to a better person, and it was an honor to not only watch him get that award, but also to present him with a commendation on behalf of the city. Lastly, on March 7th, I attended the Unplugged Seniors Director Showcase. This was a showcase where many of the youth got to direct their own pieces. And so it's one of my favorite productions because you always get to see a lot of their personalities come out, right, with the pieces that they're writing and the musical scores that they're developing. And so I think it was really well done. So I want to thank, Sarah, Nairi, and Abby for all of their work that they're doing with the theater arts program. And, I also want to thank the entire team for their creativity, because the common theme on this showcase was Gen Alpha terms, right? So, words like skibbity and aura. So anyway, it kind of caught me up on the new lingo for some of the kids. And I got to say that the showcase was Sigma. And with that said, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Well, I'd like to, I know it's not International Women's Day, but I look at it as the whole month, right? And as Councilwoman Reboyo said, it should be celebrated every single day, right? For myself, I have a lot of women in my life that made a difference. My mom, my sisters, my aunts, my cousins, my wife, daughters. So I try my best to celebrate them every day and have them in my thoughts. I'd like to congratulate my youngest son. His first baby was born today at 7 a.m. So now I have 3 grandkids. Went by pretty quick. I'm a grandpa. All right. So thank you to our Councilwoman Garcia for bringing up the Arts District meeting that we had today. I want to thank you for meeting in such short notice. I just really came back pretty inspired on what took place. We had some meetings with the city, the county, the district executive representatives from Austin Arts District, and the Wynwood Arts Business Improvement District, and the Dade County Cultural Affairs. And we just discussed on how they created art and how to bring art to our community, how to bring other events here that just, really has the city stand out and thrive. So we've came back with so many ideas and that we're going to make some recommendations, and we're going to bring it to the next city council meeting to hopefully seek approval and support from our colleagues. We have the opportunity to have a couple of artists from the Wynwood area that was part of causing what took place in that area to come assess our city and to help us give us direction on what their thoughts on it and how we should do this. And also on the staffing part of it, our city manager also was in these meetings and was able to get a lot of new ideas too that he'll be sharing with us. So I'm pretty excited about it. Just want to really thank you guys for the support of allowing us to sit in this committee and to really do our best to bring arts into our community. So those are my reports. Thank you. And our meeting is now adjourned. Thank you. All right, yeah, we're going to closed session. It's hot up here. I'm gonna tell you, we got to fix the AC. So we're now gonna recess to closed session. Thank you. He's in Camp Pendleton.